We're probably not in the heaviest spot either. There's probably some worse.
The hail damage up here not only breaks the stalks, but it can shake some of the kernels out of the seed up here. And that's why we're finding a lot of these down here on the ground after a hailstorm. It's because they knock them right out of here. You know, it hits it so hard that they start falling off. So you can see them all over the place. I don't think it's a total loss. I don't know much about how crop insurance pays out. I've never been a farmer myself, but yeah, you're missing a few here. You can see these are just about turning. This one's getting closer. It's still a little bit wet out here. Give it a little bit more time, another couple weeks if we quit getting thunderstorms, and we'll be harvesting this sucker. And some of this wheat that gets hit pretty hard isn't gonna sit up tall enough. It's gonna die now, and it's gonna lay next to the ground, so when they come to harvest it or combine it, they're not gonna be able to pick this up off the ground and get it into the combine. So that's part of why we lose some of this during hail. You can see a lot of these stems are broken. So this is just gonna start falling. Some of these are gonna die. You're not gonna get all this harvested this year. So you're gonna lose quite a bit. Look at all these kernels down here. It's all gonna be volunteer spring wheat next year. I think it's calm before the storm. I think we have more rain coming in tonight. Around 8:30, 9:30 tonight, we're gonna have some more storms coming in. That's north. Looking west right now. Southwest is where it's at. It's moving that direction. So the cool thing about North Dakota is you can see forever. So once we walk around there, I'll probably point this out too. Since we're talking about damage, it's my nephew. Last year he kind of got in a car accident. It's my dad's car. Passat rolled it. I think he flew over 120 feet in this car and then rolled it at least a half a dozen times. Had to pull the engine out, salvage the engine, pulled some other stuff out of there, but it's been raining a lot. So look at all the water in there. It sucks. I should have got the radio out of there. I could have used that in my Jetta. Kind of disappointed. All the airbags went off. This thing is just full of water now. Crazy. Even back here. I would have pulled the spare tire out too. I don't know. A little bit of money there. But you walk around here and you can see south. You can see a lot of the damage that happened last night. It's going to be out in this area. Kind of the system pushed that way last night. So the farther we get out here, more storm. There's the beautiful Rainy Buttes in southwest North Dakota. East and west Rainy Butte. There's Scott and Christy Olson. Nice to see you guys. Hopefully I can run into you while I'm home here. But some of this alfalfa actually got smashed last night too. This was swathed, I think, a week or two ago, my dad said, and so it's been laying here, and then you can see just all the water and the hail has really hammered it into the next alfalfa. But then with the additional water that we had right now and all the heat, everything's going to be growing really fast. So there's pros and cons to this. You might not be able to get all of this picked up this year and baled. So a hay baler has little tines that will pick up that hay and throw it into the hay baler, I guess, not hay baler, but it'll throw it up into the baler. So if those tines can't get down there and grab that grass very well, it's not going to work very good. So what they use is a rolling rake where you have several discs with little tines on it that spin as you go, that picks this up and kind of lays it over on its bottom, if you will. So you rake it over once, hoping that that helps dry it out a little bit. So you give it a few days of dry weather after you do that, and then you can come through and bale it. But you can't bale wet alfalfa. It'll just mold and rot, and it'll get your cows sick, actually. But you might get a second cutting out of this because of all the moisture and warm weather that we're having right now. So it's kind of sucks that you put all this work into cutting it and you might lose some of it, but that's farming. That is what happens. Hail damage from yesterday's storm. Some of this is hail damage. My dad's apple trees sure got banged up. We were just looking at these yesterday before the storm, but you can see all the dents and bruises in the apples from the hail. That's a pretty good bruise right there. So all these apples are going to have a little bit of damage to them. See, some of them are bruised more than others from the hail. Sucks. Hail damage. Left some pretty nice holes just right in the leaves. We've got some bigger apples. You know, look at all those dents and bruises. Well, this one's really bruised up on the top side. And that probably rings true for all the apples out here. Seem to have a little bit of bruising on them. That little dent. One's bruised on the top pretty good right there. Just like smashed the top of these out. Look at all those dents. Here's Mom and Dad's house. I got to come back here in the fall and do some hunting and maybe do some painting too. Got some definite painting to go on there. I know, safety first. Can't have a deck without railings, but whatever. It's North Dakota. We kind of live dangerously out here, I guess. That's where we're expecting the storm to come in from. That's the blue spots. Definitely not used to the humidity level. Being from Arizona, I'm used to like zero humidity, like 30%. And I don't know what it is today, but after the storm, everything's soaked. We got like 2 inches of rain last night. 2 inches of rain is going to take a while to evaporate. So our humidity is going nuts. But I wanted to point out, this is an old power shed. So back before we had main electrical lines, like that guy right there, every farm had to generate their own power. So when electricity was invented or brought out here to the sticks of North Dakota, a lot of people had generators, and they would run them off oil, kerosene, whatever the fuel was at the time, and they would put them in these houses and then run the electricity back to the farm, back to the house. But it's just called a powerhouse. We've always called it a powerhouse. I don't know how many raccoons we pulled out of there and killed. They get to be too much. Get to be like 20, 30 raccoons running around here at night. They kill cats, and you know, North Dakota raccoons are a little bit different than city raccoons. But I'm just waiting for this thing to fall over. Look at that. I thought it was resting on this, but it's not even touching. It's just kind of chilling there. So I don't know. Maybe some paint. Maybe some weather stripping. Might want to tighten up the hatches a little bit. Had some old tin siding up there. The old chimney in there. Look, we got beehive up in that old chimney. No Africanized bees out here that I know of, but I bet there's a hive in that chimney. Who knows how long it's been in there. Super old shingles. Probably at least 30, 40 years old, if not older. So the footings are here. Still, kinda. Rocks. Just looks like cement blocks, limestone cut out, just kind of set in here. I don't want to touch this thing. Watch me. I'll knock the whole damn thing over. This tree has always been growing into this building. I remember this growing up. It wasn't nearly as big, but look at that. It's all blown out. Old electrical hookups right there, the little white ceramic stuff. That was a good insulator for the electrical lines and electrical devices that you had on the farm. This is just an electrical fence post for an electrical wire. That's a grain hopper, fuel tank. This is what they used to fill up with kerosene or oil and feed it into the generator, into the powerhouse. Got ourselves a cow scratcher here. So the cows just walk up to this and roll it around, helps scratch them. And this one might be froze up. Maybe that's why it's out here. So kind of wanted to see if we had any more of those insulated electrical caps, whatever you want to call them. Old trike. Oh my god, look, this whole thing's falling over. I'm not going in there. There's no way. I haven't been up in the dome for several years. I kind of want to go up here and check it out. This is an 1895 Victorian, built in southeast North Dakota. And my parents and a bunch of other people moved this out to southwest North Dakota. So we are in the dome. So yeah, you don't see anything. This is the attic side. And since it's an older home, you're going to get some water staining, right? Around the windows. Things aren't 100% sealed. Things aren't perfect. Man, that doesn't look good at all. Got some updates to do, but definitely watch out walking over in this area. And yeah, look at that, wood gutters. I bet you guys haven't seen wood gutters before. But the roof up here is shot too. We got to get out there and get some new shingles on it. A little bit of work to do to the house, but man, I wish this could have been my bedroom growing up. Look at that view. I'm not sure who hung up the Christmas lights up here, but that would have been pretty cool. I don't remember doing that as a kid. So the story is, or at least the story we used to tell everybody, is that people used to come up here and play cards. The guy that built the house used to come up here and play cards with his friends. You get drunk and yada yada until we would tell people that somebody got killed up here or somebody got murdered, just to make it a little bit more, you know, of a story. But I don't know any truth to that at all. It's just a really cool building. And yeah, I had quite a few parties here growing up, and I'm pretty sure they would take the windows out and throw beer cans at people walking outside. And yeah, did find some evidence of that. A little bush light. It's not mine. I didn't drink that shit. But look at that staircase. You don't want to drink too much. I can't even get half my foot on that thing. That one's actually broke out. I hate to be the person that broke out on. Look at how steep this is.